Hey. Time for another out of this world story from our space. I, male 32, discovered my girlfriend, female 30, of 5 years, has been cheating since 2.5 years ago with the same guy. I'm in IT. When we met, she worked at a secondhand shop and has since taken a master's degree. She currently works as a teacher. We live together in an apartment we bought together, sharing a mortgage. The other guy works in IT too, is my age, also a foreigner. For full timeline, see below under Timeline. For the rest, go to the next section. Timeline. Below is the timeline of events. I'll mark the events previously unknown to me with a little I. We started dating in 2016. She is a foreigner in my country, with intent to stay, and I'm a native. I bought a tiny apartment in mid-2017. I did not want her to move in because I didn't want the friction of living on top of each other, while she also had cheaper student housing. We frequently slept over at each other's place. Little I. In autumn of 2017, she met the other guy at a party her friend brought her to. They exchanged numbers and stayed sporadically in touch the next year. In October of 2018, I went abroad for 9 months for work, in 2 separate countries. We had talked about it ahead of time, and we met about every 2 weeks, with either me flying home or me flying her down to me. Little I. November of 2018, she goes on a date with the other guy and sleeps with him. She confesses to a colleague at her shop, writing, "I don't think I want any of the guys. I just want to do my thing and have nice sex." In January of 2019, while I'm abroad, she called me to say that she doesn't want to be with me anymore. She gives no details or context and is just crying. I'm taken by surprise and feel completely anguished. She had an airplane ticket to visit me about a week later and actually came down. I asked her if she had cheated on me, which she denied. We then spent the weekend together and tried to recalibrate. Unknown to me, she continues to see the other guy and to send him rather spicy photos. Little I. April 2019. She goes on vacation for 5 days with him, with the other guy's cousin. May 2019. I come back from abroad. Over the summer, she moves in with me as her studies are done. She, supposedly, breaks off contact with the guy. Little I. Until spring of 2020, they supposedly stay in touch, only occasionally, and on rare occasions go on dinners together. Spring of 2020. We have a big fight about something. She reinitiates contact with the other guy, but allegedly only for a few months. Autumn of 2020. We buy an apartment together and move in. Little I. From Christmas of 2020 to June of 2021, she sees him at least once a month to meet for sex. June 2021. After I've been on a weekend trip, and she's yet again slept with the other guy, the reveals start. The reveals. I find her looking at apartment rentals on her phone. I make a joke about it, to which she replies, "I do it because I'm developing feeling for someone else." She says it's a guy she'd met recently via a friend and has met 3 to 4 times. I sit down with her and say that we should do something about our relationship since this is happening. I book a table at a fancy restaurant after work. We're through most of the dishes when I realize her story doesn't make sense. I ask if they have had sex. "Yes, but only once, 3 days ago." Disgusted and enraged, I leave the table and we go home. Over the next few days, I piece together the events given above in the timeline, detail by detail. I eventually deduced who the other guy is via her social media. After every reveal, including the above, she swore there was nothing more to it. After learning the full duration, I went to her email. I find both details of their trip together, as well as her membership on a BDSM site where she had registered to find girls to have sex with. Status quo. She has deleted her account on the BDSM site and blocked the other guy on all social media. Furthermore, I've gone through her phone and deleted any call history, messenger groups, etc. that she didn't delete. I think not on purpose. From her chat history, I also suspect that she had casual sex while on vacation with her mother in the summer of 2018, the days before her mother arrived. Either that, or she's incredibly naive about giving her number to thirsty guys who want to meet up for drinks in the evening. It's been about 3 months. We were on summer vacation together and went to a friend's wedding, as if nothing happened, with occasional emotional meltdowns from my end. We still live together. I have told my mother and 2 close friends. I have gone through so many emotional ups and downs, and part of me feels exhausted. I range from loving her and sleeping in spoons all night, to coldly dismissing her and failing to sleep because my brain is chumming over the details. I find myself occasionally going to her phone just to see if I can find more details. When I asked her why she did it, she said she felt their relationship lacked intimacy. She felt we didn't have good communication the first months of my stay abroad, and claims she initiated the encounter that led to sex because she just wanted someone to talk to. Then the guy initiated, and the rest is, according to her, a series of poor decisions leading to more poor decisions. Whenever we went through a rough patch, she reached out to him to escape our relationship rather than to work for the issues together. I feel at a crossroads now after spending a few days in the woods. Before the trip, it felt like this is workable, but now it just feels like our relationship is simply doomed. The last 2.5 years, she has essentially been leading me on as a loyal partner while secretly seeing another guy. We even talked about getting kids, the latest just a few weeks ago. Now I feel like I don't even want to live with her. Today she proposed couples therapy next week, but I almost don't see the point. I just feel hollow. I texted an old friend last night who told me, if you're going through her phone, you'll trust her, and you have to ask yourself if you will ever trust her again. I imagine the next decades with her, kids and marriage and all, with constantly worrying if she's seeing someone else, if the kids are mine, and what my mother and close friends think about me taking her back. Can it get better? Will it get better? How can it get better? I am considering asking her to move out for a few weeks to give some space, but I'm not sure what it would bring. Let's check in with those reactions. Legend of Spiles says, you should have already thrown her out. C.R. Mandla says, if she really loved you and cared, she wouldn't have cheated. Don't take the couple therapy. She cheated on you, so it's over. Sorry I had to deal with this. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Figure 01 says, 1. Can it get better? Maybe. 2. Will it get better? The statistics are not in your favor. 3. How can it get better? As soon as she un-Fs the other guy, things are going to improve. The other part of the fix is you losing all memories of her doings. As you can see, the maybe is extremely slim. Good luck. On to the next story. I, 29 female, found out my husband, 33 male, told another woman he loved her 2 months before our wedding in May. We got married in May, and there was a wedding gift we received from a girl I had never heard of, named Erin. I asked my husband if he knew her, and he said, oh, that's a girl I used to date 10 plus years ago. My mom still talks to her. She lives in another state. I thought nothing of it. A month or two later, I was on his phone playing a game. We know each other's passwords and regularly use each other's phone, but we have never snooped. And a text message popped up from a girl named Erin. I didn't investigate further, but an alarm went off in my head. Well, just last week, my husband's parents called and said they were out on the back porch hanging out late. My husband asked who they were with, and I was in the other room, and I heard his mom say Erin. I went in and said, is that the same Erin who sent us a wedding gift? He told me yes, and that apparently she had moved back to our state a few hours away from us. Immediately, I had this huge red flag feeling something was wrong. Never, in 4 years, have I ever thought to go through his phone. We have had a great relationship and have enjoyed these few months of marriage. So I picked up his phone and went to text messages and found Erin. Sure enough, they had been chatting every couple of months for the past 2 years. He told her he loved her on 3 separate occasions, the last being 2 months before he married me. Amongst other things like, I miss you. You are still the most beautiful girl in the world. And, I know I screwed up with us. He apparently cheated on her and she left. She never responded with similar feelings, but just vague responses. She even said, aren't you engaged? I don't know what to do. I do feel wrong to go through his phone, but to say I am shocked is an understatement. I feel like I have been blindsided. He has told me of past relationships but never mentioned Erin, and even gone so far as to say he had never been in love until me. As far as I can gather, they dated 10 to 13 years ago and have not seen each other in a number of years. I feel so betrayed. By my husband. By his family who claims to love me. It's one thing to cheat, but to have actual feelings of love for someone else is a whole other feeling of misery. I can't eat. I can't sleep. How do I confront him? Edit. The timing of finding this out couldn't be worse. We are in the middle of packing up our place and moving 1,800 miles away. We have never left our home state. We leave Sunday. The reaction from the community starts off with Snosberry 383. What do you think would have happened if she reciprocated his feelings back? You think you would still have married you? Q General 647 piles onto that. Or if she just showed any interest in him now. Given what you read before, do you honestly, truly believe that if she had enthusiastically reciprocated his most recent advances, because that's what they are, sexual and romantic advances, you'd have stopped himself out of respect for your marriage? Someone who is sorry for betraying your vows, which he already has, this is emotional infidelity, would immediately come to you with tears in their eyes, begging forgiveness. They'd cut off contact with the affair partner immediately and demonstrate to you that you are their one and only commitment. They absolutely wouldn't, 1. Lie by omission by never mentioning the relationship and then overtly lie about the nature of the relationship when asked directly. 2. Carry on secret communications where they make romantic comments and profess her love to their ex. 3. Encourage a close relationship between her and his parents, keeping her firmly entrenched in his life, which is probably his exact intention. 4. Pine over someone he hasn't been with in a decade. For me, one of the worst parts is that he's pathetically risking his marriage for someone who doesn't even seem to have any kind of interest in him. The only thing preventing an affair right now is lack of interest from his desired affair partner. You deserve better than this. Last comment from Daloco6913. The fact that he did not tell you anything about her is not good. He definitely still holds a flame for her. As for the snooping, it is a marriage. Do not confuse secrecy with privacy. If he makes that the big issue and does not address your hurt, you should consider walking away. If at any time he gets a green light from her, he will take it.